Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep today and going to get into something I think a lot of people are curious about.
Yeah, should be interesting for sure.
It's one of those things, you hear about and everybody always talks about,
Right.
but how much do we actually understand it?
Exactly.
Credit scores.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically today, we're looking at this thing called Experian Boost.
Okay.
So we found this YouTube video, a testimonial, and this person is claiming some pretty insane results.
Oh, wow.
They say that using this Experian Boost, their score jumped 12 points instantly.
Wow.
Just like that.
Hmm.
So that's what we're going to try to unpack today.
Okay.
Can a service really do that?
Yeah.
Boost your score instantly, and by how much?
Right.
So, in this video, the user's like, my credit score went up 12 points. That's insane.
Well, it is pretty wild when you think about it. Like, what exactly is going on behind the scenes to make that happen?
Yeah, credit scores always feel so mysterious anyway.
Yeah, they really do. For a lot of people, it's kind of like this, secret code that determines whether or not they can get a loan, buy a house,
Right.
what interest rate they'll have to pay.
It's super important.
It is super important.
Yeah.
And most people, they don't really understand how it works. It's just this number.
Right. It just kind of follows you around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And this person in the video is just like, as soon as I press the button, my score went up. So what buttons are they pushing?
Right. It does make you wonder. Okay, so, traditionally, credit scores are based on, your payment history. Do you pay your credit card bills on time? Do you have any loans? Things like that.
Uh-huh.
But this Experian Boost seems to be tapping into something a little different. It's instead of just looking at those traditional things, it's also looking at, your utility bills, your streaming services, even your rent payments.
Okay.
Stuff that hasn't typically been factored into your credit score, So
they're finding all this evidence of good financial behavior that was just hidden before.
Exactly. You might be super responsible with paying your bills every month, but if you're not using credit cards or taking out loans, that doesn't really show up in the traditional system.
That's interesting.
It is, right. And I think that's where Experian Boost is kind of stepping in.
Yeah. By
adding this positive payment history to your report, it can basically instantly, potentially create this boost in your score.
Interesting. So for people with a limited credit history or maybe a few hiccups in the past, this could be huge.
Absolutely. If you've always paid your rent and utilities on time, Experian Boost is saying, hey, this person is actually really reliable.
Yeah.
It's giving them credit for that good behavior.
And, even a small increase can make a big difference, right? Like when you're applying for a loan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or trying to get a better interest rate.
Even a few points can potentially save you thousands of dollars over the life of a loan.
Okay, so back to this testimonial for a second. They mentioned a 12-point jump and even a 21-point jump at one point.
Yeah.
That's got to be life-changing for some people.
Yeah, it could be, for sure. But I think it's important to remember, too, that individual results can vary.
Yeah.
A lot depends on your specific credit history and, your overall financial situation.
Right, so this isn't a magic bullet for everybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
So it's important to kind of look beyond just one person's story.
Absolutely. You always got to do your research.
Yeah, there's always more to the story.
And, it makes you think about the bigger picture here, too.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, think about the data privacy aspect of all this. Experian Boost needs to access your bank accounts to track those payments, right?
Right.
So are there potential downsides to sharing that level of financial detail?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Something to consider for sure.
It's we want a better score, but at what cost?
Yeah. It's a good reminder that any service, even one that seems really helpful, could have trade-offs.
Absolutely. And, ultimately being informed is what empowers you to make the best decisions for your own situation.
Yeah, being informed and doing your research.
Right.
So, Experian Boost sounds like it might be worth looking into, especially for those with limited credit history.
Yeah, it could be a helpful tool.
But like we said, got to do your research, understand how it works, and, consider the potential downsides.
Definitely.
It's a fascinating world, this whole credit score thing.
It really is.
Makes you wonder what other tools are out there or what might come out in the future to help people manage their credit.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, that's our deep dive for today. We'll be back next time to explore more.
See ya.
See ya here.